हरि ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. Hari Om. So we are seeing this Chinmaya Naamaamrit Stotra that Guruji has composed, and 108 names of Param Poojya Gurudev are there in this, and we are at the fourth verse. अंतस्साक्षी तो वृत्तीनां अंतर्यामी तथैव च आनंदात्मस्वरूपस्य आंग्लभाषा विदुत्तमः. अंतस्साक्षी तो वृत्तीनां means like pratibodha viditam matam that comes in one mantra of Kenopanishad, that he is the one that is illuminator of the thoughts inside, the knower of the thoughts inside. Also, he is the one that in between the thought, that peace or silence is there, which is the thought area without thought, thoughtless area. One thought comes and it goes. Second thought is yet to come. So in between, that condition is there in which no thought is there. So that is also he, and he is the illuminator, knower of the thoughts that come in us. By the way, what is thought? Vritti. When one alone, without second, Chaitanya is there. Thought is not a separate entity that really exists. It is the consciousness conditioned by some object. Inner object like feelings, emotions, or our decisions, etc., our emotions, etc., or outer object. So the consciousness that takes forms of other objects, then that becomes thought, like the water of the ocean when it is conditioned by the length, height and breadth of a ripple or a wave or a breaker or a tsunami, then that is called wave. It is not anything different than the water. In essence, it is the same way, and he is the one who is illuminating that thought also. So antasakshi to vrittina. Also it is called sakshi. Not only illuminator but sakshi means it doesn't interfere in the coming and going of that thought, or the quality or stature of that thought, texture of that thought, direction of that thought. As the uninterested overlooker, onlooker is the witness. So same way that thought may be of meritorious action or not, religious or irreligious, good or bad, what result it will give. Like petrol just makes that vehicle go, it doesn't decide the destination where it will go and the repercussions and result of that is in the hand of driver. In the same way, this is just witness of the thoughts. The thoughts resultant action and its responsibility, and then fruit of action also will go to the thinker who is the doer of that. Antasakshi tu vrittinam antaryami tathaiva cha. And he is antaryami means inner regulator, inner controller, who sits inside and tries to regulate us. Now this is different than the first one, because like Ishwar, he is in our heart and who always propels and prompts us to do good things according to the scriptures and according to the noble values. Those are extolled all over the period of time also, and at all places also. So Sarvajanik and Sarvakalik and Sarvadeshik, these are eternal values. So always this God, which is goodness in us, inherent goodness, may be in potential form or dormant in us. So that one propels us, Antaryami. So he tries to show us the correct way, tries to prevent us from the unrighteous, unlawful, unethical things. And it is good for us to pay heed to it and to do its bidding. If not, then we have to face the result of that. We have to face the consequences. So in this way, Ishwarasya Antaryami Tathaivacha. Yama means Yama Niyama, to discipline. So he tries to discipline us. And he always says, yes, this is good, this you can do. This is the better option. This you should move away from doing. Don't entertain such thought, etc. But many times pressure of vasanas is such that we neglect and ignore this Antaryami's call for us, and then we find ourselves in problem. Further, Guruji says, Utsaha Vardhakastu Ekaha Evam Omkara Vittata. Utsaha Vardhak. He is the one who himself also is very enthusiastic, eager to do the service of the nation, and also he inspires others to do these things service. By encouraging, by appreciating what they do, by guiding them, by instructing them, and by making available many platforms to serve. One who wants to do these spiritual practices, learn the scriptures in original form, and also to live the life according to that, full of service, selfless service. For them, there is a vast range of platforms where one can serve according to one's own talents and capabilities. And it is said that God sees your availability and not ability. He makes you able afterwards. So Utsaha Vardhakastu Ekaha. In this way, he is our Param Poojya Gurudev is enhancer of enthusiasm. Wherever he goes, wherever his work is there, then there is all are like bubbling with enthusiasm to do new and new things, find new avenues to serve, and new ways and means to do spiritual practices. Utsaha Vardhakastu Ekaha. Eka means one, and as the one number has gone in all the numbers. So same way, this eti gacchati sarvatra iti ekaha. So this one principle of existence has gone in each and everything. Everything we know as is. Even past tense, future tense, and present tense also. Even absence also we comprehend, we recognize in the form of is. He is absent. So in this way, ekam, this one principle, devoid of all the manyness. Neha nanasti kinchana. No plurality is there. No manyness is there. So this oneness, Dvaitam na sahate Shruti. It is said that Shruti, the Vedas, do not tolerate this manyness. So this one principle is the form of this Param Poojya Gurudev. उत्साह वर्धकतु एकः एवं ओंकारवित् तथा. Omkaravit means the knower of Omkar. Oh, I am also knower of Omkar. Om, see, I know Omkar. But it is the realization of that Om, and Om is the one which encompasses all our personality, our life, and also this vast universe. Because A, U, and M are the three syllables in that. So it is said that A is our waking state, U is our dream state, and Ma is our deep sleep state. And generally, we spend our full life in these three states also. Either we are waking, dreaming, or in deep sleep. But some people may be meditating and having a fourth state, that is absorbing samadhi, absorption, merging in that greater self. That is depicted by the peace, by the silence from which this Om emerges, in which this Om stays, and in which this Om merges back. So that peace or silent is the form of ourselves. Shanta Karanam. So in this way, Om pervades all our life. It consists of all of total life. It is comprised of that. And outside also, A is always the first letter, first pronunciation of a language. Like A in Sanskrit, Aleph in Urdu, A in English also. And it is the beginning of all letters, so it comprises of all. And Ma, when we say, that is the end. So Om, U lies in between. So in Om, all the letters, all the syllables of the word come, and with them only the words are formed. Example, table. So they all comes through these syllables which are in between, comprised in between Om. So they are compressed in Om, all the languages in the world. And these languages, these words only remind us of that object. So when we say lotus, so we pronounce these three syllables, but the form of a lotus flower comes to our mind. So in this way, all the objects of the world are covered in Om. And in this way, full universe outside and inside is Om. Om iti sarvam. Om iti Brahma. Om. That is the form, with form and formless Brahman. That is the supreme reality. Om. That is the first manifestation of the urge of creation of that creator. It is called Big Bang theory of creation. And through these vibrations, then sound vibrations, Om, that resonates, then all the things and beings and all this universe comprised of mountains and rivers that came. So in this way, Omkar, with knowing this Om as myself and that eternal infinite truth, he is called Omkar, with not only knowing on the level of intellect, but realizing that, experiencing that. He is the one that our Gurudev is, Omkaravit. Generally, it happens that whenever person gets knowledge and expertise in any field, then pride comes. But how Gurudev is? Karuna sagaro sohi tatha karma parayana kalaatitascha kaivalya swarupasya kritatmavan. Karuna sagar, he is the compassion ocean, embodiment of compassion. He is so soft-hearted that he can't see the sorrow of others, and by whatever means he has in full life, in even though his heart was not working, still he went on giving this knowledge to others, because this knowledge will ultimately remove the sorrows. Vedanta resolves the problem and not no mere solves it. It works on causal level and not on symptom level. So Karuna Sagaraha, as the ocean gets its low and high tide because of the gravitation of moon, in the same way, when he finds some goodness, some urge to learn, some desire to get liberated in somebody, then this ocean of compassion, Param Poojya Gurudev, always got moved as if he melted, and he made every opportunity available for them to learn scriptures and to do spiritual practices, and side by side serve the society to purify themselves, to make them fit for knowledge. Karuna Sagarah Asau he Tatha Karma Parayana. And if lot of mercy is there, kindness is there, but actually no work is done, so that will remain only unproductive feeling. That is just an idle, wishful thinking, but nothing has come out of that. So Gurudev is Karma Parayana. Throughout his life, he worked and worked on individual level, institutional level, national level. He did an talks series in various universities of the world also. He did world tours. So wherever that seeker, that devotee is there, he went there and guided them. And so many people are inspired by Gurudev. So many got this self-knowledge because of Gurudev. Bhagavad Gita, now next next verse it will come. So that time we see Bhagavad Gita, which was earlier just wrapped in red cloth and was worshipped in houses. Gurudev prompted people to take it out of the cover and read it and understand it and live it and take all the blessings that it assures. तथा कर्म परायणः कालातीतश्च कैवल्य स्वरूपस्य कृतात्मवान्. Beyond time, Gurudev is beyond time. When we say beyond time, अकाल, सच अकाल, जो बोले सो निहाल. वाहेगुरु जी की खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह. So अकाल means beyond time, timeless. As in deep sleep, we don't have any concept of time, year, day or date, century. When our mind starts functioning, then only we come to create that sense of time. And that way also time is relative. When one is in happy company, time just flies. And when is awaiting for somebody or in distress, then time as if longified and it becomes like aeons. In Vrindavan, these gopis, when Sri Krishna would take cows for grazing in the forest, and now whole day he will not be seen. So that time they say this one moment is as if become long, like aeons, like age. Trutir yugayate. One fraction of moment has become so long. So in this kala tita, what is this time? Time is consciousness itself actually, has taken this form of time just for transactions. And we have divided it as past tense, present tense, future tense. They say all are tense only. There is tension, there was tension in the past, now also anxiety is there, and future also worries are there. So tense. So this bifurcation we have made for our transactional purposes. Object, objectified time, if you study, then objectively past tense was present tense when it was in front of us. So it gets merged in the present tense for the purpose of study. Similarly, when future tense will come, it will also be available for us as present tense only. In past, neither we can go and do any action, or in present, future also we cannot go and do action. Whatever we can act is in present only. So future also will take form of present tense when it will come for us. Therefore, it is enough that if you study present tense, then both are covered. When we try to analyze what is present tense, then this full century is there. So, is this century present tense? Because 19th century, 22nd century. So if you say that this century, this 22nd century is present tense, Shri Ram, then it has got so many years that has merged in past tense, and many more years that are in future. Like this is 25th, so 20 up till 24th years have gone, and from 26 they are yet to come. So is this only 2025 the present tense? Is it only the time present tense? No. Out of 12 months of 2025, 1 month has gone in past, 1 month is dead, and now from March onwards it has to become. So is this month of February is present tense? No. Out of these dates, 28 dates are there. So out of that, many have merged in. Now suppose today is 17. So 16 are gone in past tense, and rest yet to come. So this day is present. Out of these 24 hours of the day, some hours have gone, some hours are yet to come. So this present hour is present. Out of that, so many minutes are there. So out of that, some minutes have gone, some minutes are yet to come. If this present minute is present tense, then out of that, so many seconds are there. So if we go on doing like this nanosecond, then nothing like time, kala remains, but only consciousness that is doing this analysis. So that remains there. So in this way, kalo namas kramasamvit, it is said. Time is the sequence, time is the consciousness of the sequence. Generally it is said time is an interval between two events. But the basic question is, who saw the first event? He must be beyond time. He must be there, existing before time, before the first event. Then second event happened, and then we counted the interval between these two events as time. Like the hand in the clock, it was on for 1, then it went on second. So we decide that yes, 5 minutes have passed or 1 hour is passed. But who is the one who was there before that first event happening? So he is of the nature of consciousness, he is beyond time, and he is this kalatita. The principle which has taken form of our teacher, our Guruji. The measurement of time also differs in different bodies and worlds. What we say long life, That is infinity for ants and mosquitoes and flies, because their life compared to this is very less, of only few days. And what we say, ours is long life, so that is very less compared to means, our ancestors and gods, because our 15 days is one day in man's land, Pitroloka, and our 1 month is one day in for deities, gods, and our lakhs of years is one day for Brahmadev the creator. And that truth is just beyond time. It is just infinite time. Shishyate iti Shesha Sodhnya. Shesha Anantanag, the serpent on which Lord Vishnu reclines in Milky Way of ocean, is the symbol of this time. And at the time of deluge, when there is either all flood, heavy rains, and afterwards heat, like this sun in the summer, which is over our head in midday, like this 12 suns come there and they all just burn this universe. So in this way this earth is merged in water, water is merged in heat, heat is merged in Agni, Agni is fire, fire, fire is merged in air, and air is merged in this space. And that time this Kala remains. Therefore it is called Shesha, means remainder. Shishyate iti Shesha Sodhnya. So that is Kala, and the consciousness in the form of Narayan Bhagwan reclines on that. Shivaji, who is the pure auspiciousness, just plays with those serpents around his neck. So in this way he is Kalatita, beyond time, timeless. Kaivalya Swarupa Sakrutatmavan, and he is one alone, only that form, without any differences such as internal, outside, or within species, like Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Vigata, Bheda Rahita, Swagata Bheda Rahita, Sajatiya, Vijatiya, Swagata Bheda Rahita. That is called Kaivalya, the one and alone, the one only. This is one homogeneous Ekarasa Samasamana mass of consciousness. There is no second, no duality. For that purpose, 3 types of differences, distinctions are counted. One is between the species, among the species, like plants, is different form of creation, creatures, and animals, insects, birds. Now suppose we take butterfly. In that butterfly also, this first is Vijatiya Bhed. This butterfly Sajatiya Bhed also. One butterfly is different than another butterfly. So many different characteristics are there, attributes are there. So that is Sajatiya Bhed. And one is Swagata, means inherent in one unit of that species. Like if one butterfly is taken, then its receptacle is different, wings are different, front portion, back portion, down, up, these are their colors, their other things. So in this way, out of these 3 distinctions, no distinction is there. So that is one homogeneous, one only, Kaivalya Swarupa. Kaivalya means liberation itself, self-knowledge, liberation. Sakrutatmavan, and he has worked over his mind. Krutatmavan, he has refined, he has made obedient, he has made subtle and pure his mind, and therefore that is a good instrument for him to serve in the world. When first we have to serve, we should equip ourselves with such things. Otherwise, if our mind is not in our hand, then how we will serve? If we are not healthy, then how we will serve? We ourselves will become the object of service for others then. Therefore, Krutatmavan, he has disciplined his mind and made it shining, pure by devotion and by other spiritual practices, by surrender to Lord and by annihilating the ego. Krutatmavan. Further, it is said, कृतकृत्यस्तथा गीता ज्ञानयज्ञ प्रचारकः गुरुश्चापि गुणादेतो ग्रंथकृत चिन्मयो हि सः कृतकृत्यः. He is done, he has done whatever to be done, so he is fulfilled, he is dhanya. So he don't have now actually duty towards anything or anything to be desired. He is self-contented. Krutakrutyah. तथा गीता ज्ञान यज्ञ प्रचारकः, and he is a great missionary who spread the knowledge of Gita, who inspired lakhs of people to study Bhagavad Gita and be benefited by that, without any reference to nationality, religion, and any other ability. Those who were seeking knowledge, he made it available to them in various forms, books, videos, audios, and so many. Our centers also, they are the centers who disperse this knowledge to all. Gita Jnana Yajna Pracharakah. He was a good missionary, always enthusiastic, with a zeal and with sincerity. Whatever is possible, he used to do. Once it so happened that the trustees, etc., were discussing, executive committee members were discussing that we should spread and we should popularize this Bhagavad Gita book. So how should we do that? What are the different novel ways to do that? So Gurudev says, here in Mumbai, so many big hotels are there, star hotels are there, because in Mumbai so many government offices are also there, other institutes also there. So people from all around us, our country also, and from world also, they come here for their work. So they stay in hotels. So in each room of the hotel, we will keep one Gita as a part of its furniture and fixtures. So on this table, teapot, in cupboard, or as they will see, we will keep one Bhagavad Gita book. So naturally, when that work is over, the person comes to rest in the hotel room. He will naturally pick it that and read. At least one line, one sentence he will read, and that may appeal to him. That may click. So very nice. But then some member said, oh, but what if that person packs this Gita also with him and takes it in his bag while leaving that hotel in Mumbai? Then Guruji smiled and said, that's what we want. If he takes that Bhagavad Gita with him, definitely he will read some in travel or at home or give it to somebody, and we will replace another Gita in that room. In this way, this will be given. Because when we go and give door to door, etc., they may find that, oh, this is just missionary work. They may not take. But when person reads little bit and takes without asking or something, because he has liked that, then definitely he will read it. So in this way, this knowledge will be disseminated in all. Gita Jnana Yajna Pracharakah. And literary, when we say this, he did so many Jnana Yajnas, 576 to count just number. But some camps he took that were lasting 15 days, 303 months, etc. And the same knowledge which is given in Gita, that is explained in Prakaran Granthas also. And Gita is the essence of Upanishads. So counting this all together, he did so many talk series on Bhagavad Gita. So it's a good missionary of spreading this knowledge. Guruschapi gunatitaha, and he is the Guru. He is the preacher, he is the teacher, spiritual teacher, he is Guru, who is having very effective and impactful personality, in whose company we tend to become calm and quiet, happy and full of knowledge, and we get this inspiration to study and work. This like Guru, and he who gives us liberation and emancipation. In this way is a Guru. He explained these scriptures to us, Gurunati iti Guru, and he has as if devoured, swallowed the ignorance of so many his dear and near disciples. Girati iti Guru, and of course Gurrati iti Guru, he scolded and shouted to make us disciplined for the spiritual practices and services. Guruschapi Gunatita, he is beyond gunas. That one self, supreme reality, is beyond this worldly virtues and vices, and technically sattva, raja, tama. These three attributes, good, bad and indifferent, or active, inactive and unactive. So sattva is full of, the characteristics of sattva is knowledge, steadiness, alertness and happiness. Raja, that is characterized by ambition, over ambition and agitation, unsteadiness, and tamas is by ignorance, postponement, mistakes, sleep and laziness, idleness, etc. And the one consciousness who sees, witnesses the play of these gunas. Yes, now I am feeling alert, now I am sleepy, now I am agitated. So this I is common to all, and he is away, different, aloof from this all. So that is this gunatita. Adi Shankaracharya says that principle of awareness, Chaitanya or Brahma, with the help of this Tattva Guna, this knowledge principle, he prepares the seer, doer or enjoyer, experiencer. With the help of Rajoguna, it itself expresses as the action of seeing, enjoying, knowing, experiencing, and he himself adopting this tamoguna for the time being, as if apparently he himself becomes the thing seen, an object experienced or the object enjoyed. So in this way, the Gunatita one has taken form of these three gunas, and thereby this world, the thing that we enjoy. And when in itself it remained contained, then that is clear, formless Chaitanya is there. Guruschapi Gunadita, Param Poojya Gurudev also, in his core, and he knew that, he has realized that he is Gunatita. Only for transactional purpose, he used to adopt this, get conditioned with these gunas, and that too more and more sattva only. He remained awake and alert at all the time, most of the times. Granthakrit Chinmaya Isaha, and he composed so many, wrote so many commentaries on Adi Shankaracharya's texts and Upanishads also. Bhagavad Gita, full Bhagavad Gita, very relevant and practical and very famous Holy Gita is his commentary. And same way, all the Vedanta, that is texts of self-knowledge, Upanishads and Adi Shankaracharya's granthas like Vivek Chudamani. Granthakrit. So in this way he wrote many books, and he is the author par excellence. His style of writing is so much captivating and charming and very decorational, ornamentary languages and big clauses, one paragraph, one sentence, but that touches your heart. His sincerity for our welfare, that not only touches your heart and makes you a seeker, makes you a servant, completely transforms your life and makes it more beautiful and meaningful. Granthakrit, Chinmaya, and he is Chinmaya, he is full of consciousness, knowledge, awareness, and that reflected from in all his actions that he did every day. Chinmaya, he distributed that knowledge to all. He was a vast treasure of knowledge of so many fields. If you see his libraries at his staying place where in Siddhabadi, Himachal Pradesh, or Uttar Kashi, Uttaranchal, or Mumbai in Maharashtra. So many different sciences and books and on of different fields they are there. And his talks, if you listen, then as skillfully he will explain anatomy to explain any point. So do he will be in physics also, in linguistic study, literature also. So he was a vast treasure of knowledge. Granthakrit, Chinmaya, full of knowledge. Then further, Guruji says, Chinna samshaya evayam jagadatma tathaivacha jagat sakshi janapriya sarvadacha jitendriya Chinna samshaya. He has removed all his doubts. When this knowledge, self-knowledge dawns on us, when one realizes this, then one goes beyond any questionless, doubtless knowledge he gets, clear-cut knowledge. It is said in Upanishads, Vidyate Hridaya Granthi Chidyante Sarva Samshaya Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Tasmin Drushte Paravari. When one knows the same truth in the form of world, empirical world, and that same truth as a Brahma, Chaitanya, and that same as we ourselves. So this body also, and the liminal factor in us, which gives us sentiency, and the same consciousness, same principle of existence in world. So when we comes to know that, then all the questions go, all the doubts are resolved, and he becomes very clear. He has a very clear understanding, very firm establishment and abidance in that truth. So in this way, Chinna Samshaya. And he used to do others this way. One day it so happened that in one city he was there for giving a series of discourses, and a person used to drive him from his residence to the place of discourses. Yajnashala. And it was the last day of the discourses, and he immediately after that he has to travel to other town. And this host, the driver who was taking him there, was escorting him. He asked him one doubt, and Gurudev started explaining that. But soon this place of discourses came, so it was time. Therefore, he would always be on time. So he got down from the car and went to give discourses. And after that, all other Guru Dakshina and other meeting of devotees, etc. Then he left that city for another one. Next year, in the same city, when he came again for this series of discourses, and the same person was driving him. So that time he just started, like in this moment only we stopped. So what we were talking, this subject that we left incomplete, and then he continued further and dissolved his doubt. Chinna samshaya. Evayam Jagodatma Tathevacha. He is the self of all the universe. He is the universal self. Vishwatma, Sarvatma. It is called Sarvatme Bhav. When ourselves becomes the self of all. When we drop our conditionings of body, mind, organs of action, organs of knowledge, up till ego. When we drop that, then we become the self of all, and everything comes in ourselves only. So Jagadatma, in this way he has realized that Jagadatma, Tathaivacha. Jagat Sakshi, but still he stays in world but doesn't belong to world. He doesn't get attached to anything in the world. So he is Jagat Sakshi, the witness of the world. जगजालिया इकडचे तिकडे आपण न व्हावे मागे पुढे ठाईच राहून या रोकडे कौतुक तेवढे पहावे. So in full flux this world is, always in turbulence, always changing. Our inner thoughts and decisions also change, our knowledge changes, and outside also up to galaxies and solar systems, and all the things around us keep on changing. So within that, one unchangeable, unchanging, one certain principle is there that doesn't go any modification, and that is the Jagat Sakshi, the self. So Gurudev is also like that. Mountains like things happened, but still he was unshattered and not intimidated. Sometimes the people whom he taught, and great reliance was there that he will make his hands strong and they will help him in spreading this knowledge, doing the organizational work of mission. When they left along with so many others, followers, supporters, but still Gurudev stayed, and he was very liberal and large-hearted, that he gave to them also good wishes, that wherever they go, they will teach Vedanta only. In such way, this Vedanta is hammered into them. Even if somebody learns Vedanta and gets married, then he will give lectures on Vedanta to his sons and daughters. Jagat Sakshi, Janapriya, and he was very much loved by people. Wherever he went, people always surrounded him. Such a charm was there in his, such a smiling face, and a bright persona was his. He was loved by all. This kindness of heart, softness of speaking, and wit, and the judgment, and the sensibility to know their state of mind, their condition. He was Janapriya. Once he went at one place, and that person gave him, after food etc., he gave him Guru Dakshina envelope, offering in one envelope money. And when he counted that envelope afterwards, then he saw, and he told that mission people that return this to that man. Only keep a very small amount of this and return the remaining to him, because when I went last year, his sofa was just without any much sponge, etc., and nails were there, and this year also it was there, means he could not replace that with new one, with cozy and comfortable one, soft one. That shows his financial condition, and therefore you return him the dakshina, and only as a token of that accept little bit one. So in this way, very sensitive to the needs and condition of other people. So he become very janapriya. And so many traits were there. So many good qualities were there that would make him friend of all, so many people, and revered guru, mother, father, brother, advisor, guide of many people. Even if now also we go and we meet the persons on the big post, principals, etc., of colleges, they remember, oh, when I was a child in Montessori and lower KG, etc., he visited us. And when I went to some relatives, he was invited there for Bhiksha. I saw him and I remember. So in this way he has as if sown the seeds, and that we ripe here now. Jagat Sakshi Janapriya Sarvada cha Jitendriya. He has mastered his senses. Jitendriya. Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahita. Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu samasanga vivarjita. Jitatma tatha manapamanayoho. Jitatma means who has conquered his own lower selves, mind, sense organs and organs of actions, etc., vital layers and ego mainly. So Jitendriya, he is Jitendriya. So many discomforts he just tolerated without any word of complaint. Many times meals, etc., also was served to him, that may be without salt or double salt. So full control over his all organs. That was seen in so many episodes. He was Jitendriya. Further Guruji says, Jiva Brahmaikya Vichya Asau. He is the knower of oneness of individual self and the Supreme Self. Jiva Brahmaikya Vit. And that knower also knowledge of the first hand realization, that experience. Jiva Brahma Aikya. Now Jiva is that reflection of the Supreme Self, and also that fraction of Supreme Self, because that is all pervading. Where reflection is seen, there already as an ordinary, as a common substratum of that, that consciousness is there, that existence is there. As we see the reflection of sun on some wall or a mirror or a pot, then that place where the reflection is there, the general light of sun is also there. So in the same way, this consciousness is all pervading. So that one plus reflection that has fallen the very smooth and fine and subtle surface of mind and intellect. So that is Jiva, the sense of individuality that is born because of the identification with some or more conditionings. So that is basically consciousness itself, Brahman only, Supreme Truth. So Jiva Brahma Aikya, and that is the substratum of whole universe, on which it is appeared, as if from which it has come, on which it stays and in which it goes on. As we get up in the morning, all our world unfolds, and at the end, it all again folds back into us. So, we are the substratum for our own personal world, in the same way, totality. That is called Brahma. And of course, that only just makes all the people sustain, all the living beings sustain. And that is the biggest, greatest one, Jiva Brahma. And both are one, no more of that. So there is an analysis how to know this oneness. Mahavakya Vichar, it is called. That will come further also. Mahavakya Upadesha. So when we drop the conditionings of both, how this jiva is conditioned by little knowledge, by very less existence, span of existence, and by only a momentary fraction of happiness. And this, and power also very less power, this jiva individual. And this Ishvara, it is endowed with all knowledge, all existence, and all power, and all bliss of ocean of bliss. So when we drop these both conditions in our analysis, in our thought, then essentially both become the same, Brahman. The core is same. Therefore, Jiva Brahma Aikya. In this way, its oneness is known and understood. Jivan Mukta Sayevahi. Jivan Mukta means while living only, he has got this knowledge and he has become that Brahma, because Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of the Supreme Self becomes the Supreme Self. Because as far as one is other to know the other thing, there is duality, and duality stems from ignorance. So here the knower has become the known. तुझको ढूंढा गली गली, तेरा पता चला नहीं, जब पता तेरा चला, अब पता मेरा नहीं. So I kept on finding you as a other than me, different than me. I never find you. But when I found you as my own self, then I am absent. This little ego, this little self, this little I is absent. Deva pahavaya gelo, deva houni atelo. When I went in search of the Lord, I merged in it, and only Lord remained. So I is not there. So in this way, Jiva Brahma Aikya Vichya, so Jivan Mukta. So it is said in Tattva Bodha by Adi Shankaracharya Jai, Jnana Samprapti Samaye Muktoso Vigato Shaya Tanum Tejato Vakashyam Shopajasya Gruhe Thava. At the time of this realization, this firm abidance, this constant remembrance of one's own true nature as Supreme Self, at that time only, at that moment only, he becomes free from all the bondages of past actions. Those are there in causal body. There remains no sorrow, no fear then. That is called Jivan Mukta, liberated while living. And Gurudev is such. That was seen in his all life and work. जीर्ण मंदिरोद्धारकस् तपोवन शिष्यस्तथा. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and earlier in the childhood he was devotee of this Shivaji also, and afterwards he got the knowledge of oneness of all the forms and names of God. Essentially, God principle is one. So wherever mandirs, temples were there in dilapidated state, he just helped them, inspired people to gather money and make that, renovate that temple. So renaissance of culture, this mandir is culture, cultural mandir, Indian heritage, Indian culture also. Jeerna Mandirodharakas, Tapovana Shishyastat, and is the dear, dearest disciple of Param Poojya, Param Guru, Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, his Gurudev. He writes about him with so much reverence that he is not a person, he was an institute itself, he was the Param Brahma. We cannot speak about him. And whatever we do, whatever air also, whatever we breathe here in Chinmaya Mission, that is because of his grace. To make your hearts pure and abide, let him abide in your heart and express through your acts. Such reverence he was having about Tapovanji Maharaj. At the end of the life of Swami Tapovanji Maharaj, he went and he urged them to come to Delhi, and he was suffering. So he wept there, and Tapoji Maharaj asked, I have taught you Vedanta, we are not this body. Chinmaya, but he was just having this grief because this mortal coil, which is the instrument of transacting with Guru, which keeps on inspiring us, that will be no longer seen. Tapovana Shishyastatha. Always, thenceforth, always Gurudev used to have his picture backside, as if supporting him, backing him, wherever he gave discourses. And he developed the place where Tapovanji Maharaj stayed in Uttar Kashi. That was a only simple mud hut that time, and he developed that in an ashram, very nice ashram, where this meditation, this spiritual practices, this study of scriptures is done even now. That was his offering to his Guru. Further he says, Tapasvi Tapanashanas Tirtha Swarupa Evahi Tejasvi Sarvalokeshu Dehatitas Sadaiva Saha. He is an austere, always engaged in penance, austerity. Tapa is concentration of sense organs and mind. Manasas Chendriyanam Aikagriyam Paramam Tapaha. So to save and conserve the energy of mind and all the sense organs, etc., which otherwise goes waste in fruitless, directionless activities in vain, and then to channelize that saved, conserved energy for the activity towards our goal. So that is called tapa. And the greatest tapa is to remove our I, ego, our limited individuality. So in this way he was tapasvi. Tapa is the name of Brahman also. And Swavalamban is self-dependence is a tapa. Swayamsevi tapasvinaha, it is called in Vedas. Swayamsevi tapasvinaha. Self-service is a form of austerity. So Gurudev was that. In the earlier period, he used to himself write letters, answers to the letters that will come from whole world, hundreds of letters. He used to stick that envelope, he used to write the address. Tapasvi. and doing one's duty is also a tap. And forbearing the things, uh, cold and heat and other discomfort and little pinpricks of life, that all is seen in Gurudev, how he gone through. Afterwards also so many diseases, so many medicals, so many surgeries, so much discomfort, inconveniences, that all he bear with. So tapasvi, tapanashana, and he was a destroyer of afflictions of others. He was the remover of troubles of others. Tapanashana. He used to soothe others by his teaching and loving words and actual help also. So the adhibhautik, the trouble that we come through from the beings around us, adhidaivik, that has arisen from our past actions or the phenomenal forces on which we don't have control, and adhyatmic, from inside us, mind, body, diseases, etc., or loss of faith and falling prey to our desires, thus falling in the path of spirituality. So he, whatever needed, that he did and removed the affliction of others. Further we see in the next class. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.